a strange thing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Discover with Spinati. This is episode number 24, and it's an extremely amazing, and I can already tell it's going to be an amazing episode because we have a special guest. As always, we have special guests. We only bring special guests to Discover with Spinati, and today's absolutely no exception. We have Vanessa with us from Her Stories on Rogers TV. Yes, you heard it right. She is on Rogers TV, and she came here to graciously bless us with her presence and her knowledge and her experiences. So we're going to go through a lot of things today, and it's going to be very powered, a lot of energy. You guys are going to love her. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, keep listening. And if you're looking at the YouTube, keep looking because you're going to benefit quite a bit from this. Vanessa, without any further ado, I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself. Tell a little bit of your story as to what you're doing right now, where people can reach you, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you for that introduction.
Yes.
First of all, that was really generous of you. I'm excited to be here and to get into what I'm doing right now. I host Her Stories on Rogers TV. I share female stories every week on my social media channels on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I share my own story as well on my platform. And the reason why I started doing what I do now is because I think it's really important for people to share their true stories, their journeys, for the purpose of uniting women and connecting women and creating less judgment. And if people want to find me, they can find me at herstoriesco.com. On my website, I share stories weekly. I share videos, as well as Instagram and Facebook at Her Stories Co.
Wow. Okay.
Was that a lot? Was that a big mouthful?
Just a little bit. A little bit. You do quite a bit.
I do.
That's really impressive. And you
Yeah.
also have 3 kids.
I have 3
Yeah, you also have 3.
and 2 puppies. I just adopted 2 puppies.
Okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yes, my
Okay.
family's constantly growing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So
Yeah.
you have 3 kids, 2 puppies.
Yes.
And you do this on the side?
Nothing
Okay.
on my life is on the side.
Okay, so everything's
important.
100%.
Everything.
Okay.
I just juggle it all, and
Okay.
I make it work, and I fit it in where I can. And sometimes I film at night, sometimes I film in the middle of the day. So my schedule is all over the place, and every Sunday night, my husband and I just figure it out together because we're both busy.
Right. So you
Yeah.
guys create a schedule, you two? And you guys...
I'd love to
kind
say
of
I'm
abide by
so
it?
organized that we actually write it out, but we don't. We're like, you be here, you do this, you pick this person up, I'll be here, and you be here, and we're like, check, got it.
Okay. You seem like a very happy-go-lucky kind of person.
Yeah, I am.
Have you always been like that?
I would say that when I was a kid, I think I was born happy-go-lucky,
Okay.
but I think the experiences in my life challenged happy-go-lucky a lot,
Okay.
but I still came out happy-go-lucky.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll touch on those challenges in a bit.
sure.
So you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you have your own
Oh, and I'm on
website?
TikTok. I don't know
You're
if
on
y'all are on
TikTok too?
TikTok. I'm
on
killing it
TikTok
over
as well.
there.
Right on, high five.
I've been on there for a while.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Oh, since when?
Okay, well, I was on it before with my last brand, but I started Her Stories Co. in the summer.
Oh,
But
wow.
I've had some good success on
Right,
there.
right.
Yeah, it's fun.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
Oh, you know what? I think my kids really inspire me. My mom, like the memory of my mom inspires me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what inspires you about your mom?
So going back to my childhood, so my mother passed away when I was really young.
Okay.
So, and I used to feel sorry for myself as a child that I lost a mother, but now that I am a parent and my mother passed away at 39 years old, I feel that she did not get to live her potential. So it inspires me every day to do that.
Is that what pushes you every day?
It's a big part of it.
Okay, what's the other part?
Just to be grateful, to be happy, to feel fulfilled, I live every day like it's gonna be awesome.
Every single day?
Yeah.
So how do you wake
It doesn't always work out like that, but the goal when I get up every day is like, I'm gonna kill it today.
Okay, for the majority of the days,
Yeah,
if not every day.
I try, yeah.
Okay, and you said you've always been like that except for a few hiccups?
Yeah, I would think I was born that kind of a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you haven't, I mean, I don't want to go through like this But you know what? I'm going to ask you anyway.
Sure.
So, okay, so you've gone through, I mean, everyone goes through ups and downs.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm sure you've gone through ups and downs in your
Yeah.
life that challenged, you just said, challenged your happy-go-lucky.
Yes.
What were they? And how long did they last, that challenge?
Yeah.
And how did you overcome them?
So when I was a kid, I had a hard childhood. So I was born into a fortunate family that kind of went awry. Like my father was an alcoholic. My mom passed away of cancer when I was 11. My sisters and I were removed from our home, from children's services. Like I had a lot of things happen. And then I went to live with relatives who didn't really want us. I lived with them for 6 years, a lot of negativity. And that phase was really hard for sure. And that I would say 10 years was very challenging, right? As a kid, I was like becoming a teenager. I lost my mother, I lost my dad. I was separated from my sisters. It was just a very hard time. But I think the fact that I came out the other end of that, still somewhat intact, just made me realize I could do anything.
What got you out of it?
I just really believed that I was destined for something better.
Okay. You know, we all have that we have someone that influences us as we grow older. Someone or people. Okay. And what made you believe in yourself so much? Because you have a lot of self-belief.
Yeah.
Right? You have a lot of self-esteem. I can sense it. So what led you in that direction?
My mother had a lot of self-esteem.
Okay.
Like I was raised by a woman who in the 80s was like at the top of her game in advertising. She was a working mother of 3 kids with a husband who was out every night wasted, and she held it together. She had an incredible career. She was a director in Toronto. Like she was a force to be reckoned with. And even through her worst struggles, she was laughing and smiling, and she was just an amazing person.
Okay, so that's what it is. That's why you say your inspiration is your mom. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
I feel like I have a lot to live up to.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're living up to those expectations for sure. I mean, of your self-expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about struggles,
Yeah.
let's go down that road.
Okay.
So what other struggle would you say in the past that you faced that was so ginormous that maybe even you felt maybe you couldn't even overcome? So
when I was 16, I basically ran away from home. Well, the relatives I was living with. And I was homeless. I had nowhere to live. I had 2 older sisters who were basically trying to make ends meet the same way I was. And I hadn't finished high school, and I did not know what I was going to do. So I actually ended up getting 2 jobs. A friend's parents let me live with them for a bit. I found an apartment. But it was very touch and go. Like I was literally eating day-old bread from a bakery. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was hard.
And how long was that for?
That was for a good 6 months to a year while I was trying to figure my life out.
Uh-huh.
I was lucky enough that I lived in my friend's parents' house while I was figuring that out, and then I found an apartment, and I was able to finish high school and pay my rent. But it was a struggle. Like while I was finishing high school, I was paying my phone bill. I was like doing my own groceries.
Yeah, right.
I was living my life with these, and I was in Leaside in Toronto, in a great area with kids who were so privileged, and I was like hand to mouth, like eating cans of beans and going to school with all these people, acting like
everything's fine.
Yeah.
Wow. And did people know around you?
People knew, but when you're in high school and someone shows up wearing roots and whatever, you just assume they're like, you know what? They're like, you're so lucky. You're so cool. You live on your own. Like you do what you want, you know. And I was like, oh, you just don't know. Yeah, I work all night. So
Right.
Yeah.
And what kind of jobs did you have?
I served.
Okay.
I did a lot of serving, and I lied about my age everywhere I went. Because to serve alcohol, you have to be, and I was 16.
Right.
So.
you fucked it up.
Do you know what's funny is my best friend's parents came in. It was like my 17th birthday, and they came into the restaurant I was working at to sit in my section and wish me happy birthday. And I was like, don't, because I was lying about my age, and they got it. But yeah,
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after that, after high school.
Yeah.
So you struggled for a year, you said.
Well, no, I mean, I struggled a lot longer than that.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I mean, I was on my own, right?
Yeah.
Being a 16-year-old on your own, trying to make your way is hard. So, yeah, I struggled until I figured things out into my, 19,
So what were you doing between 16 and 19 besides serving?
I went to school.
Okay.
So I moved to Vancouver. And
okay.
yeah.
So why'd you move to Vancouver?
So both my sisters had moved there, and to be honest, I wanted to get out of Toronto. I had a lot of bad memories. Like, it was a struggle. All my friends were going to Western and Queens, and that was not my path. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to work in film and TV. I wanted to move to LA immediately, and my sister convinced me to move to Vancouver to go to film school.
Okay.
So.
And you went to film school for?
Well, first I went to Whistler. That lasted a little long, a year, year or two. I was in Whistler, and I snowboarded and worked in a restaurant because I just was, I don't know, I just wanted to be free and have fun. I hadn't had fun. Like everything was so heavy in my life. I wanted to have fun.
Right. And
so
you did that for 2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
Okay.
And then I went to school.
Okay. So you spent 2 years also surfing as well?
Yeah.
So you surfed on the side and snowboarded?
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It was really fun.
Okay, so you did that for 2 years?
Yeah.
And then after that you went to film school?
I went to film school, yeah.
Okay, so what, did you always know like that you wanted to do that? Like instead of just having fun?
I always wanted to perform.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you just okay, so if you always want to perform, you say you want to have fun. So why don't you just, have your fun on the weekends and then study? Like why'd you go to Whistler?
Because when my childhood, my whole life had been so heavy and struggle that I just didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to be serious. I wanted a couple. It's like how kids take a year off from and go traveling Europe, or like mine was. That was my time to let it go for a bit.
Right. Okay.
And
so you've had the fun in the 2 years, and then you're like, okay.
And then it was like, okay, ready to go to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, because the majority of people
go right from high school.
No.
Don't they go right from high school to university?
No, what I'm saying is that someone who leaves high school and just wants to go work, they no longer think, the majority of people no longer think, okay, time for me to get an education, time for me to go somewhere else. It's like, okay, this is the life I chose, I have to work now for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
I'm not like that.
No, you're not. You're not.
I do what I want to do.
You're very, very switched on. That's amazing. So, okay, so then after that, you went to Vancouver.
But also, keep in mind, I had no pressure from anybody to do anything.
Right.
No one expected anything from me.
Right.
Like, I didn't have parents or anybody saying, this is what you should do, this is the path. It was like...
Right. And also, because you were growing up and basically on your own, you actually had to take care of yourself.
I was just surviving.
Which means that your level of responsibility and maturity was a lot higher than your cohort.
Probably.
Right? And so you were more self-aware, you were more aware of your surroundings, you were more aware of what you wanted to do, because it got you into that. Like, you weren't influenced by your peers.
No.
Because you didn't have that chance to be influenced by them.
No, and I also didn't relate to my peers.
Right.
Like, I loved my friends, but they had not experienced anything that I had experienced. And so I wanted to meet people who I could relate to.
Right.
And I wanted to experience other things and travel, and I just needed more.
Right. Okay, so bring us to Vancouver.
Okay.
So you went to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Is there a conversation that happened between you and your sisters? Like when you were in Whistler, she would call you like,
Many.
What are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your life?
Yes.
Just come. Okay.
I have two older sisters.
Okay, that was my next question.
I have two older sisters. One of them is almost 7 years older than me.
Wow.
And she played the mother role a lot.
Okay.
And so she was always like, what are you doing?
There you go.
What are you doing?
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's very successful and has always been very successful.
Yeah.
And also was on her own at 16, working, like all of us. Like she used to run Hot 97, which is like the biggest hip hop station in America. Like she is, so yeah, she was on my ass all the time.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so she dragged you to Vancouver.
Yes.
Okay. And then in Vancouver, you did film studies.
Yes.
Okay. For how many years?
It was a 3-year program.
3-year program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is now part of Van Arts.
Okay. And how was that?
Amazing. I loved every second of it.
And you lived with your sister at that time?
Yeah, with her and on my own, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're very studious. Like you like studying. You like.
Well, I like studying things I like.
Okay. Okay.
So film, TV, acting, all that. I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Production. It's my interest. So.
And then after that, you went to LA.
Yeah, I went to LA. Actually, I went to New York first and I went to the American Academy there, and I did an intensive program, like musical theater.
Okay.
There first, and then I did workshops in LA, and I was kind of back and forth, and yeah, and then I went back to Toronto, got an agent, and really tried to give it a go as an actor.
Yeah.
And like I was saying to you before, I was watching all my friends now out of university getting these careers, working at ad agencies, making money, buying condos, and I was still serving people, and I'm like, no, this is not what I want.
Okay. That is the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not okay. So wow. All right, so you're seeing your cohort,
Yeah.
your friends.
That's when it influenced me a little bit.
There you go. No. But you're seeing them succeed while you're not successful, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's very,
Yeah.
very subjective.
But at that point, that's how I looked at it.
Right.
And I wish someone had said to me, no, stick it out. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so then what did you do instead of sticking it out?
I was also watching both my sisters who were in advertising do really well. And they were like, you can sell anything. You need to get into sales and you'll make money.
Okay.
And I was like,
instead of continuing on the path of being an actor.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
yeah. And the other thing is, I really didn't like my career being in the hands of somebody else.
Yes.
And acting is like that. Like,
Yeah.
and I would say that to anybody who is aspiring to be an actor right now. Like, you can do so much on your own. I wish I knew then what I know now about like YouTube and like I wish that was a thing.
But YouTube is relatively new though.
I know, that's what I mean. I wish all this was there then because
Right.
I could have just done my whole career myself.
Right.
Now I do.
And a lot of people are.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I missed that boat, you know, which sucks. But anyhow,
I don't think you missed it.
No, but I definitely think this was the path I was meant to take. I have zero regrets.
Yeah.
And I was good at sales and I did well and that's what I did. I jumped into advertising sales. I stayed in the production industry in ad sales and media sales. And then
And that sorry to cut you off. And that part actually helped you.
it was good. I
Right?
really learned a lot about business.
Exactly.
And
That's
I
what
needed
mean.
that skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I worked in ad sales. I traveled. I opened up sales office in South Africa. Like a lot of opportunities from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you opened up an office in South Africa.
Yeah,
So
for a
you were
company.
traveling back and forth to South Africa.
No, I was just there for 6 months, and I helped open up an office there.
Wow.
I just had a lot of cool opportunities come my way when I was in ad sales.
Okay. So then after ad sales, then you.
Well, I met my husband while I was working at a magazine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had a child.
Okay.
And then he worked in the car industry, and he got an opportunity to move us out of the city, and that's how I landed in Waterloo.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there was no industry, no entertainment industry.
Right. And I don't think there is much of an entertainment industry.
No,
right now.
I tried to create one for myself.
yeah. But I mean, you had to move.
Yeah.
So you weren't
Yeah.
there too long.
Yeah.
But it is booming in Waterloo.
Yeah, the techie,
right?
tech-wise, yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of construction is happening. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't like Waterloo before. But
I-
before all the construction, before all the improvements.
Like Uptown is nice.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now things are nice.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now you moved to London
And I moved to London, yes, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And please describe London how you told me before we went on air.
Well, the difference between London and Waterloo, I found, is that Waterloo to be more transient, because
Yes.
it's closer to the city,
Yes.
and there's that big tech boom going on. So there's a lot of people going in and out.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I met were not from Waterloo. And then whereas London, I feel like most of the people I met were from London, and they had their friends, and like it was a little bit cliquey.
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah.
It's a little cliquey,
Yeah.
you know? And it took me a good year to like find my space and find my group. And now that I have it, I
Yeah.
love it.
Right.
And I think London's an amazing place to raise kids.
Okay. Yes.
If you get the
I
best
hear that
of
all the
both.
time.
It is, it really
Yes.
is.
To raise kids.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
And also it's not that far from Toronto. Like you can take the train. I take the train a lot.
Okay.
I love taking the train.
Okay.
Business class, via rail, it's great.
Nice.
But then London's also feels more like a city to me than Waterloo. There's more here, I think.
Yeah.
More culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot more culture here.
Yeah.
Because it's not transient.
Yes.
Right? You nailed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find you're very, very self-aware. Like you're very not just self-aware. Like you're aware of your surroundings a lot.
Am I?
Yeah. Which helps you like judge things a lot more accurately.
I feel aware.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
it is. Sometimes it's tiring, but it is. I'm kidding. Now it's good.
So you're a talk show host. Can I say that?
Yeah, sure.
Talk show host. Okay. And you are very savvy in business. You're also savvy in the internet sphere and social media. You're on TikTok. Not many people know TikTok in London. I'll tell you that right now, because a lot.
They will soon.
Yeah, they will. I know.
Yeah.
I know. There's one.
Yeah.
Was it 1.5 billion downloads or something like that?
It's, I think, the second largest downloaded app in the U.S.
Yeah, it's huge.
For a certain age group, but it's growing.
It's huge. Yeah. And you have 3 kids, 2 pups, I didn't. So, in terms of struggles,
Yeah.
we didn't really touch on them. You said you went through them,
Yeah.
but I want to just ask you that one question.
Sure.
What is the number one struggle that you had growing up past 16?
I think,
past 16 that made you question everything that you wanted to do?
That made me question. I definitely had some self-doubt at periods, which I did overcome, and some pain, like personal pain from what I experienced as a child. And I think her stories is really very much connected to that struggle and that pain that I dealt with, because when I was growing up and even into my early 20s, I very much felt like I was the only person who had a shitty life.
Okay.
And I know that's not the reality. Many
that's not
people
the
have
case.
struggles, right?
Yes.
But when you are growing up in a really difficult situation and people aren't talking about it and there's not a lot of communication, that's how you feel.
Right.
And I think a lot of young people, when they're in tough spaces, they feel that's how they feel.
Right.
They feel like they're the only person struggling and that it's the worst thing in the world. You know, and they compare themselves to other people, and you feel like other people have better lives, or happier, have more, and you wonder why. Like, why am I going through this, and why is this the journey that I have to go through? And so I think sometimes that question of why was hard for me. I think sometimes you have one struggle, or you have two, or I felt like there were so many whys for me, like why? And then now I think my life has come full circle, and I'm like, it sucks that what I went through, and it was really sad and painful, but I wish my mother hadn't passed away, because I obviously miss her, but at the same time, I'm like, it made me who I am today.
Exactly.
And I'm so grateful for that struggle, because I am so happy because I'm so grateful.
Yes. I find that that's true.
Yeah.
People that are grateful are happy.
I feel so lucky to have what I have.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what advice would you impart on people that are going through struggles in their life, adult life,
Yeah.
or even child life? What advice would you impart on them for them to keep going? How can they reach deep inside of them so that they can keep going? I
think that no matter how bad things get, that the human spirit is an incredible force. And I think that anybody can get through anything. And it's really, in order to truly enjoy life, we almost need to go through those struggles. And it sucks and it's so hard, but you just got to keep going. Just do. That was for me. I remember phases where I felt really uninspired and sad. And it was like, just keep moving. Do not stop. Keep going. And eventually it starts to lift, and you start to enjoy pleasures again. Like, you will find happiness again. Always. Life is what's the word? Cyclical. You know what? You have to experience the worst to enjoy the best. That's what I think. I think anyone can get through anything if they want to. You got to make a choice, right?
Right on. Okay, so now, wow, that was deep. That's good. That's a good answer. That comes from a person who is very grateful, because the majority of people can't say what you said. The majority of people, like, they very much, they go back into, their dark side, and then they bring it out. And I see it, but you're very, very grateful.
But then I'm not saying that I'm like perfect or I'm happy all the time. Like, I definitely carry a little bit of pain.
Of course.
Right? That's normal.
Course, yes.
But I don't let it eat me up,
Right.
and I recognize it, and I know what it is, and I manage it, and I work out a lot. I eat well. If I need to go see a life coach, I would see. Like, I do whatever I need to do to be great, to be good for my kids, for my husband, and to be good for the world. So,
and I would say that's another piece of advice too.
Yeah.
You do whatever it takes for you to move forward.
Yeah, and it's okay to have sad feelings sometimes. It's okay to be negative sometimes, but don't let it rule your life.
Right.
Like,
don't get stuck there.
Keep moving, get over it, and you will get over it.
So.
Or you'll manage it.
Yes.
One or the other.
Yes. You'll manage it, and you'll see the light.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you'll see it dark, and you'll see light
and
again.
it'll come.
That's right.
It's just ebbs and flows of life.
That's right. That's right.
As
long as you recognize it.
You do. You have to recognize it. No one is 100% happy all the time, whether you're the most grateful person on the planet or not.
That's right.
That's reality.
Of course. Yes. That's human beings.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So now that you're doing her stories.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're loving it.
Yes.
And you started this in August.
Yes.
Okay. And people can watch it every Wednesday.
Yes.
And they can also watch it online.
Yep. And I show clips of it on my Instagram and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen those clips.
Okay.
So, what's the future holding for you?
Well, it's interesting actually, because you'd asked me before, like, would you want to be Oprah? And I don't want to be Oprah. I want to be Vanessa, but I would love a bigger platform do more interviews. I'd love to interview women around the world. I find different cultures inspiring. I think that, especially in the state of the world today, that it's even more important for us to understand other cultures and for women to understand what other women are going through around the world. And the struggles are different, but at the same time, we are all the same. We all love our families. We all want to be safe. We all want to be happy. Like, there's so many common similarities between people all over the planet. Right. So I just love to expand the platform and connect more people. But I think, there was a phase when I was doing the mommy vlogging with my partner where, like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a moment where I was like, I'd love to be famous. That'd be fun, But I also realized that, no, I just want to be happy and fulfilled, and I want to make people feel good and inspired and connected, and whatever level that is, I'm okay with that. I need to be present for my family. I need to be present for my kids. Mm-hmm. I'm not good at being away from them. And I learned that about myself. I had a year of traveling, like a lot of travel. Okay. And I was like, yeah, I don't like that. No. I like to travel, but with them. Right. After having lost a parent at a really young age, I don't want to be away from my kids.
Right. Right, you want to savor the moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I could do Oprah's show that level and bring my family everywhere, I get my bus and I'll do it.
Or do you think it's possible to have that in London?
I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna try.
I like that.
Let's see.
I like that. I like that a lot. It was honestly amazing to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Superbly amazing. You come with a lot of energy. You actually challenge my energy.
Really?
Because sometimes my energy actually is like way above. But your energy is like super. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an honor. Thank you guys for watching this amazing episode of Discover with Spinati on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening. And look forward to the next episode with Discover with Spinati.
Life is a strange